G'day fellas, and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4 on the brand new expansion pack, Dynasties of the East. Today, we have a very special game for you, and perhaps you already see why that is, but let me just give you a little bit of a spoiler. It's because of one of the players. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning in the west of the map in the color green, playing as the Sengoku Daimyo, the Japanese variant, it's GIF Music, not to be confused with GIF Music. And on the other side of the map, in the color blue, playing as the Tughlag Dynasty, the Delhi variant. Ladies and gentlemen, some people know him as Orangutan, but others may know him as MarineLorD. Welcome to a casted game. A pleasure to have your company today as we explore exactly what the world's best player is getting up to. Now, when I say world's best player, I gotta be careful because there's a lot of players that are really good. In fact, there's a lot of players that are so good you could call them the world's best player. But I think, like, if you were to look at Age of Empires 4 holistically and be like, okay, who was the best player throughout the entirety of Age of Empires 4 so far, you'd probably say MarineLorD, right? From a consistent standpoint, he's just incredible, right? When we go back to the beginning, we can say, okay, Viper was really good and he had some great plays and it was fun watching him, but he hasn't been around for a couple of years. Beastie, of course, was incredibly powerful and still is incredibly strong, but he stepped back from competitive, at least for the moment, and hopefully we see him return shortly. And I mean, the reality is that just MarineLorD and Beastie have had such a wonderful rivalry over the years. And at this stage, it feels like MarineLorD is just pipping him at the post. And because of that, I think it's pretty safe to call him, at the moment, the best player in the world. So the question is, what does this man get up to today? How does he look to play the Tughlag Dynasty? That's what we're going to be trying to answer the question of, because he is an incredible player. And really, I mean, he can make mistakes, don't get me wrong, but it's rare to see. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about what he's doing today. That's enough glazing. Let's get into it. So, first and foremost, we've got our work elephant that's gone and done a nice little route to the south, spotted out a whole bunch of resources, a relic, and of course picked up a sheep. We've also had an early barracks thrown down here for MarineLorD. Now, keep in mind, this is a Delhi Sultanate variant civilization, so your spearmen do have the ability to build walls. Now, interestingly, this specific spearman is coming up to the boar. Now, why might that be? Well, that might be because he's up against the Sengoku Daimyo, and the Sengoku Daimyo love to get out early yatais. Early yatais are quite powerful because they're effectively 1.5 villages of free gathering of food. And so we can see he's going to start to slowly work down the yatai. GIF Music is going to have to move away in this situation, but the good news for GIF is there's lots of places he can go. In fact, he's got another yatai to the south of his town center that is continuing to gather, and worst case scenario, he can just bring the first yatai back and stick him underneath the town center right here, and he's still going to get a pretty decent gather rate. Now, curiously, from the side of GIF Music, you'll have to forgive me. It's been a long discussion as to how they actually pronounce the word, but I will say right now, we still don't know. Anyway, the point is that he'll be able to safely keep this yatai underneath the town center. Ortherville's going to garrison. You can see just one shot says, "Good night, spearman." I think that may have been the one that had taken a little bit of damage from the wolves. We can see those spears now starting to move around. And this is part of my thinking, as when you start to see when the meta begins to develop, right? This is my suspicion. As players get better, right? So let me explain. We know yatai come out from Sengoku. Therefore, we should counter yatai with units. Therefore, Sengoku should play longer Dark Age to defend yatai in Dark Age. There you go. That's my... I've broken it down as best I can. You know, why use more words when less words do trick, is probably what I should have said there. You get the idea though, right? Like, that's my suspicion, that we're probably going to get to the point where we do see Sengoku, at the very least, start to open up with the racks, maybe look to get some aggressive infantry out early on. They've obviously got the ability to do that. So the question is about not so much if we see players do it, but when they actually do it. MarineLorD now on the other side of the map is looking for an age up as well. Quite a few villages out towards the front here. And we've got the Dome of the Faith that's coming up. So this is going to reduce the cost of his imams and of course his healer elephants as well. A nice little discount of 65 gold. Meanwhile, he continues the siege. And one of the things that I love about opening up spears with the Dark Age is they're just so versatile, right? Like, you're here, you've pushed back the yatai, and at the same time you're now laying siege to buildings, so it's going to cost your opponent's wood. But at the same time, these units are units that are just not going to disappear, right? At the end of the day, when your opponent ages up and you see the archery range, you just run away, and you've forced your opponent's hand. You've now told them, hey, I've got spears on the field, you need to come out here, you need to counter me with archers. So now you've forced them into something that maybe they didn't want to do. Maybe they didn't want to go down this route. Maybe they wanted to go into something completely different. And if they wanted to go into cav, often they have landmarks that like to go into cav, perhaps the French, perhaps, I was going to say the Juicy Legacy, but I don't know why they sprung to mind here. But the Byzantines, the Macedonians, lots of civilizations like to go into that. Look at this. Lots of civilizations like to go into that cavalry landmark, and it just feels like, oh, I don't know if I should when there's spears already on the field. So that's essentially it. Yatai now going to be forced away once again from the board. MarineLorD doing a very good job here. Now, what alternative did Jiff really have? He could have come to the back of the base. This is beautiful. 8 berries. It's not the best. This is a really good spot. Ideally, you want to be going for these deer. And if you can get everything together, it makes it much easier to defend. So if you get a couple of samurai out here just to defend this in the Dark Age, I think you'd be fine. I'm pretty sure you can make samurai in the Dark Age, right? Yeah, you can. I wasn't sure if that carried across from the OG Japanese or not, because you never know with these things. But of course, we do now start to see archers on the field. A single Yumi Ashigaru for the moment, going to be chasing back MarineLorD's spearmen, making its way back towards the base. And of course, as I said, the idea is that these units are going to eventually make part of his army. So the truth is that, well, yes, they've done damage early. It's not like they're just going to be thrown away. Now, the healer elephant comes out for MarineLorD 6 minutes and 28 seconds into the game, beginning to make its way forward, undoubtedly going to be looking to heal up these spears. Let's see exactly what it's able to do here. Keep in mind, it does have its own attack, and it gets bonus damage based on the infantry around it. So in this circumstance, every infantry unit gives it 1 damage. So with 5 infantry units here, that's going to give you... Actually, is it only melee infantry? Excuse me, it's only melee infantry. So in this circumstance, it's only going to provide 4 infantry, or 4 damage. That would be kind of crazy if you think about it from an archer perspective. Can you imagine that? 70 archers and this bad boy's just walking around with 1 million damage. Well, that's not really how math works, Strongo, but anyway, you'll work it out. Look, we got a little brief break in the play. So I might get myself in with one of these bad boys right here. You may have heard of it. It's returning November 19. Be there or be square. It's going to be over on Twitch. It's the Outback Octagon number 4. We're back, baby. We are back, and of course, MarineLorD's going to be there. Unfortunately, Jiff Music is not going to be there. I'm sure he'll be there in the chat, in which case, if you see Jiff Music, say, hi, Jiff Music, but just make sure you pronounce it correctly. Anyway, beginning to add in a couple of upgrades here. We see Hardened Spearmen on the way for Jiff Music. Really looking to play into the power of this Dark Age, and the question, or rather Feudal Age, and the question is, which way does he look to play with regard to his clans? At the moment, he's only got 50 stone in the bank, so it doesn't really look like he's going either near here or there. Neither here or neither here nor there. Let's go with that instead. But it definitely seems like he's going to be playing an infantry composition. Now, I will just say one of the things I love about playing as the Japanese / Sengoku Daimyo is that melee composition, that whole spearman plus horseman combo. But I can't help but feel maybe Jiff Music was forced into this decision by the fact that his opponent opened up with spears. So naturally, you feel like you have to counter it. And when you make 1 archery range, well, when in Rome, you have to make a whole bunch of archers, don't you? And that's exactly what we start to see now as the Yumi Ashigaru number begins to climb up into those double-digit numbers, up to 14 now. We'll check back in with MarineLorD and see how he's doing. No sign of castle ages just yet. No sign of second town centers, but we do begin to see movement. A blacksmith coming down. Now keep in mind the Tughlag Dynasty upgrades work a little bit differently. You pay a bit more for them, but they do come through almost instantly, which can be great. If you're out on the field and you need a couple of upgrades, you realize, oh, my opponent's got +1 ranged attack. Well, you just hit back with +1 ranged defense and hey, it's instant. Why not? I'll take that. But now, a little bit of a chase towards the south. Keep in mind one of the key differences between these two units, Yumi Ashigaru, do have a slightly faster base movement speed than the Archer, and it means that they're very effective of just diving in underneath town centers and just being annoying when it comes to skirmishes. But have a look at the healer elephants from MarineLorD. MarineLorD not mucking about right now, as these numbers are looking very scary. He's up to 31 military population. Only the 4 spears at the moment. Now, keep in mind, you don't really need a whole bunch of spears. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense because when it comes to your healer elephants, they've just got a very strong base heal. I was kind of like hoping right then that the healer elephants would have bonus damage against cavalry, but they don't. And I was like, okay, well, maybe they could act as the pseudo spear. No, MarineLorD is just raw dogging this army right now. A whole bunch of healers and archers, maybe looking to sort of role play that old Delhi classic style that we saw from players, where they would just go into a whole bunch of archers and healers. And oh god, those were the days. They were the scary days. Do you remember that, when there was just a million healers on the map? Well, not a million, but there was double digits at least. +1 ranged armor now going to be coming through as well. Keep in mind, +1 attack is in. Now, there's another way that you can get bonus damage with the Sengoku Daimyo in the feudal age, and that is, of course, through their unique clan system. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that and whether or not it potentially comes up. Another rack's going to be coming down, and elephants moving forward. They've got their heels, their hands in the air like they just don't care, and the spearmen begin making their way through. He's going to try and continue kiting away from this. You can see just how quickly Sengoku Daimyo archers are, and now MarineLorD says, you know what, cut to the chase. We're going to try and do our best to defend on this position. Heals are coming through. It's very hard to focus down these archers underneath these elephants. You can't really see exactly where they are, but MarineLorD now down to only a handful of archers as they try and make their way out. All that's left appear to be a whole bunch of healer elephants. Now, it looks like, don't get me wrong here, but I think these guys could just infinitely heal each other. And what do the archers do? I mean, the archers are just going to kite, right? Like, they've got no other choice. It's not like they stand and fight. If they do, they're going to be here until night. It would be terrible. It would be a fright. But it's not going to be the way, of course. He makes his way to the enemy base. MarineLorD now, not particularly safe. Needs to evacuate the front. Plenty of villagers down here on the wood line as well as the gold mine. And we've got ourselves the first piece of cavalry today. I mean, you can technically call it cavalry, but he's more of an elephant. I mean, I'm sure there is, you know, there are tanks that we call cavalry, so it's a class. It's not necessarily a specific breed of unit. This, our friends, is the Raider elephant. Oh, he's decided to commit. Look at this. This is a sad state of affairs right now for our Raider elephant. Unfortunately, unable to find a connection with these lovely little guys. Now, I just realized we're kind of running a little bit loud here. Let me turn it down. You don't realize how loud it is until the elephant starts screaming. But I guess the consequence of having that slightly slower movement speed here, the Raider elephant, you can see it's at 1.6 movement speed, is that unlike the horseman, it's a little bit more difficult to catch these units. They are particularly good at escaping. So watch out for MarineLorD to maybe look at flanking his opponent here. Now, one thing to note, we have not seen any Tughlag forts yet. And that's kind of curious, because the whole identity of this civilization is the Tughlag fort. I mean, you could arguably say elephants as well. You could probably even say, I don't know, man. Elephants and Tughlag fort. What else do they put on their card? Like, when you think about it at the start, you know how there's like the little cards and they give you a couple of keywords, they're like Tughlag fort. Elephants, big eco. No, they don't really say that. Anyway, let's talk a little bit more about what we got back over here. It is going to be the ranged clan, which are also known as the Oder clan. So this provides bonuses to your ranged units. It also provides a nice little boost here to our military building. So it's going to be quite nice to have this over time, buffing up these extra little positions. Meanwhile, we've got more units coming out. It's the Kanobo Samurai. Definitely an effective decision here in this game. Now, why would this be such a good decision? Let's talk about the Kanobo Samurai, something that we haven't really talked about in any video yet. Now, of course, we've touched on the unit, but to talk about it in depth here is a little bit more important, because this unit is an incredible choice right now for GIF music. Let me explain. First and foremost, this unit gets bonus damage against units based on their max health. So if you've got 1 million maximum health, it's going to be doing a lot more damage. So it will do 6% of enemy max health as bonus damage. So it's important to note that that is max health. So even if the enemy has got 10% health, it's still going to do that 6% of its max health, not its current health. Which means it's always going to be powerful. On top of that, this is a heavy melee infantry unit, which means it's not countered by archers. And therefore, it's a particularly strong choice in this matchup here, just simply because it's going to effectively counter the elephants because they've got a high health pool, but at the same time, it won't be effectively countered by the enemy archers, which MarineLorD is building up. And because of this, GIF Music has quite the brain on him. I will say that right now. I'll give it to him for a man who loves music as much as he loves images that move slightly. He's got a brain that's quite good. I like it. And I like this combo. This is a smart combination. Now, these units aren't the fastest. That's the other thing to note. But I think once they actually catch the I was going to say the cavalry. I mean, technically the cavalry. Once they catch the elephants, they'll be in a decent spot here. But we do have a bit of a raid coming through. Does Jiff spot this? He does see it. Now making his way down towards his south side. Villager's just going to stand here. Jump into the outpost. Yatai's here as well. Elephants slowly making their way through. You can see it's a bit of a forecast here. He's made multiple decisions, and now we've got ourselves the shinobi popping out. He gets the slow on all of the units. Beautiful control from Jiff Music as he takes on MarineLorD, one of the best in the business. Trying to work down each of these samurai, these Kanabo samurai. It'll take me a while to get it, but I'll get there eventually. And you can see all of the grenades from the shinobi slowly being thrown into the front line. Frontline, backline, into the enemy units, and because of that, it makes it easier for his units to catch up, and you can see he's just having a field day here. The spearmen would be absolutely destroying these elephants, but they'd be getting massacred by the archers. It is not the case today, though, and you can see just how much of a struggle he's having here against these units. MarineLorD really running for his life. Look at the damage that's done right here. My lord, why is this man going so slow? Oh my god, the elephant! He got two-shot by the Kanabo samurai. Boy, oh boy, Jiff Music, call him the chef at this point. Jeez Louise, we've got quite a few chefs that have been happening recently, haven't we? I tell you what, this is exciting to see, but now the Raider elephants to the front as well. It feels like MarineLorD yet to really have a response to these Kanabo samurai. I don't think he saw them coming, and I can tell you what, I definitely didn't either. What is the play that you make in this situation? How do you answer this? Because this is a unit that is just, you look at it and go, okay, I probably want crossbows or some kind of high damage, low health unit. That's probably the best way that's not going to get countered by a whole bunch of Yumi Ashigaru. In this situation, I'm thinking, okay, where do we go from here as MarineLorD? We can't make crossbows yet, so that's not going to work. We can't make men-at-arms yet. That obviously wouldn't work. Maybe Raider Elephants is the best play, but even then, you've got 235 health, which is quite a bit. But at the same time, it's like, it's still going to take a while for your enemy to get through it. So maybe that's the play. They have quite a high base damage as well. And now the healer elephant's going to attempt to hold the line here. Yumi Ashigaru just tapping down any of those infantry units it can find, but somehow MarineLorD finds a way through all of the Kanabo samurai as they fall to the ground, and MarineLorD says, whew, that was close. That was scary, dude. That was really scary. Jiff Music. Whoa. Jeez Louise, careful of this guy on the ladder. I will say, of course, incredibly competent player. Conqueror 3. I think sits at about 1900 rating, maybe 2k rating. I don't want to undersell him. Very, very powerful. How's he doing back on the Matsuri? We're at 30% yet. Close. We're at 25% at 17 minutes. Not too bad. Let's check in with the income, get a bit of an idea on where they currently stand. No villagers lost? No, I take it back. 4 villagers lost on either side. So they're doing pretty even Stevens at the moment, but we could have a little bit of trouble in Paradise's villagers on the run. The Yumi Ashigaru will catch, and they head into the stealth forest. Jiff Music knows it. And then the Shinobi pop! And now he's looking to slow them down. He will be able to get the slow. Tagged on this villager, 0.91. Yumi Ashigaru now behind the lines. MarineLorD in a little bit of trouble. He splits the Yumi Ashigaru. There's other things going on. We don't care about it right now. All we can... Jiff not paying attention. Jiff, get it together, son. Get it together. You can kill all these vills right now. This is a massive win against MarineLorD here. His economy is going to be significantly hampered, but the villagers have escaped. Jiff needs to just dive in there. A couple of vills now towards the south side. He spots out another one. MarineLorD doing a wonderful job of cleaning this up and manages to stem the bleeding for the moment. Meanwhile, towards the 4, Kanabo Samurai are working their way through. Look at all of these attacks. Jiff Music. Holy moly. He is switching it around like a GIF right now. He's just constantly changing frame. And now finally in the back of the base, MarineLorD should be able to clean this up. Needs to avoid losing too many vills. He's lost 12. He's lost 12. MarineLorD's in trouble. He is in trouble. Now, how do you play from this position if you're Jiff Music? I think the best thing that you can do is double down. You've taken out vills. He's taken out more. He's picked up another one. All the units now taken out. MarineLorD in a bad spot. But how does MarineLorD play this? MarineLorD needs to just go all in at this stage. I wouldn't go for a second TC here. I wouldn't go for a Castle Age. I'd just say 100%. It's time to make units. This right now is our go time. Why is that? We've lost vills. We need to try and even the count. So at the very least, I want to see MarineLorD try and look to do the same to his opponent that had just happened to him. Incredible play right there from Jiff Music. And you can't help but feel like he got off pretty easy, MarineLorD. It could have been a lot more dead vills. It probably could have been another 3 or 4. And it might not seem like much, but it definitely starts to add up. Let's check in on Jiff, though, and see how he's doing. Meanwhile, towards this side of the map. Still only the one clan at the moment, the Oda clan. He gets the extra 5% health on all of his units. He's also going to be picking up the extra +1 damage for a total of 6 damage in the feudal age, which is quite nice. And we see a food trader going to be coming back in here. I will just raise that point that I've made previously, that I think that there is potential where maybe you see the Sengoku Daimyo go for Age 1 traders. I think that might be actually a world, like especially when you've got a really good trade post like this. There's a world where maybe it works. Anyway, we'll save that for another day. Maybe that's a challenge that we could do. Trying to get to Conqueror 3 just using an Age 1 strategy. Not completely Age 1, I'll say that right now. I think you want to age up around like the 5 to 6 minute mark, somewhere in that region, but it's definitely a viable strat in my mind. Whether or not it's actually good or not is a whole nother question, but MarineLorD now putting on the aggression. Archers pushing up. He sees a little bit of the army. Sees the Yari cavalry in here as well. And of course, keep an eye on those. They've got their +2 damage as well. And now, GIF Music going to try and push in towards the front. Together with the Kanabos trying to take down these elephants. MarineLorD turns and shoots, and you could see the power of those archers slowly hammering away at the Yari cavalry. He's got a good number on him. The heals, they move and they heal. They move and they heal. They don't care about your facts or your... They don't care about your facts. Hold on. They definitely care about your spears, though. That is for sure. Wow, okay, that was an impressive amount of damage that just came through, and you can see MarineLorD having, once again, a little bit of trouble. But at the same time, GIF Music doing exactly what he needs to do, doubling down, amassing military. He knows that there is a risk right now. If his opponent pushes, he has the chance to actually take him out because he's got a big army. However, GIF Music is doing an incredible job on the defense and now turns that defense into an offense as he makes his way across the map. 2 more healer elephants on the potential menu for GIF. He's going to take them. Thank you very much. Delicious. Serves up one of them for breakfast. And now, look at the amount. Bro, where are all the archers? The archers have just been left behind. I don't know where they went. Has he just stopped making them at this point? Yeah, he's at 12. Dude, he's just maxing Kanobo Samurai. He's like, you know what? It doesn't matter. We're all in on Kanobo Samurai, and that's it. That's our new strategy. We don't need any other units, but you know what actually might be sick? Can I just be real? Kanobo Samurai together with Yari Cavalry. So can you imagine like 5 to 10 Yari Cavalry just coming in the back right here? Boy, oh boy, that would be so scary. That would be so scary. This unit's incredible. It's such a weird unit. Do we see this unit get nerfed? Maybe. I mean, to be fair, GIF Music is just making a lot of them, right? So they look really good because he's making lots of them. And when you make a lot of anything, it looks really good. You're like, oh my god, 14,000 crossbowmen. It's like, yeah, they're the best unit in the game. And then 6 mangonels come up, and that's just it. You got no crossbowmen left, and it's like, well, they were good before the mangonels showed up. But maybe we could make 14,000... No, don't give them any ideas. I will tell you right now, after playing quite a bit of Crucible, 14,000 mangonels is a viable strategy. It actually works until the trebuchets come. Nobody tell him about the trebuchet strat. Can you imagine 14,000 trebuchets? I think it could actually work. If you had Byzantine trebuchets, I think it could genuinely work. Is it the... No, sorry, not Byzantine. Is it the Templar trebuchets? The Templar trebuchets is what you want. Oh man, I don't know about you guys. I've been playing a fair bit of Crucible. It's really hard with that bug. I tell you what, that's so heartbreaking that the game, well, like Crucible went live. So when I was playing it on like the creator preview, we didn't have that bug. And so it was amazing because like you'd play the game and you'd get XP. And now all of a sudden, like the Crucible bug, there is a fix, by the way. If you haven't already checked, go over to Reddit right now. There's a pinned post by Cow for a fix. Literally, it's the easiest fix as well. Right click, Age of Empires 4 in Steam, go to properties, go to cloud save, turn it off, and then start the game. And that's literally it. And apparently that will fix it. So there you go. Thank you, Cow, for finding that fix or for sharing that fix. I don't know who it was that found it. So thank you very much for that. But yeah, that makes it a little bit more manageable. But anyway, I found, I don't know about you guys, because we should probably talk a little bit about Crucible, because I had a lot of fun before this whole debacle, because I actually just, I beat the absurd AI. Finally, I tell you what, it took me probably like 15 goes to beat the absurd AI, but hey, that's pretty good, man. Like, if the absurd AI is that good, and that's not even on the hardcore mode, or is it the hardcore mode, the nightmare mode, whatever it's called? A little bit of a raid back here. It's nothing too scary. These guys don't do a whole lot of damage. Don't be too scared of these guys. Just kind of laugh at them. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, by the way, we're still age 2. 24 minutes into this game, and no one even batting an eyelid at like the prospect of Castle Age. Could you imagine a Castle Age right now, just because you've got 71 archers? And you got to remember, okay, MarineLorD, I'm just going to ring this little thing in your ear. You have instant upgrades. You hit Castle Age with 800 gold in the bank. You click +2 attack, +2 defense. Maybe throw in a veterancy. I'll let you. And you just fight. That's literally all you need to do to win this game right now. When you've got 71 archers, not much is going to mess with you, but I will be real. Maybe 27 Yari cavalry will mess with you. They kind of fuck. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, so I managed to beat the absurd AI in the Crucible, but that was a mission. The hardest part is like the 36-minute mark. There is just this wave of trebuchets that come, and I'm not kidding you, it's like 30 trebuchets, and I found that you have to have like a little group of cavalry just ready for the trebs to come, and when they do, just clear out all the trebs. Anyway, talking of clearing out right now, looks like Jeff Music's going to do his best to clear out all the archers as they make their way through. Now, keep in mind, we've got +2 damage on these bad boys, as well as this nice little buff that's coming through from our samurai, or sorry, from our Daimyo. Daimyo somewhere on the back here, not picking up that attack speed, and MarineLorD now with the micro has lost about 20 archers so far, continues to kite back, and now we've got Shinobis in the back line. He's going to look to slow as well as get that DPS buff on all of these archers if they can manage to stay alive. The Shinobi, he's trying to get the grenades off. I didn't see any of them get too deep. Maybe 1 or 2 of them managed to break it through, and down to 7 Yari cavalry. MarineLorD with the absolute chef's kiss micro. He doesn't need +2 ranged attack. He doesn't need +2 ranged armor. He doesn't even need veterancy. Why do you need that, Drongo? Just keep making archers in the feudal age. You'll be absolutely fine. Until these bad boys come. Dude, why Kanobo? Why do I keep forgetting the name of the Kanobo, dude? The Kanobo. I'm thinking of the I was thinking of the bonobo. I'm like, isn't there an animal that's called the Kanobo? The bonobo, dude. Oh, is it? Oh my god, the bonobo. Think about it, MarineLorD. He's orangutan. He's a bit of a monkey. Imagine if MarineLorD spams Kanobo and he changes his account name to Bonobo. Oh, could you imagine? I could imagine that. That would be amazing. MarineLorD, I'm putting the challenge out there to you. How many of the top 10 can you beat with bonobos only? That's what I want to see. Archer numbers still looking good for MarineLorD. He's at 45. Now we start to see Yumi Ashigaru coming out for Jiff Music. A curious decision to switch back into it, but I guess he's having a little bit of trouble here with the archers of MarineLorD. Now keep in mind, these aren't special archers. These are just normal vanilla archers. There's no bonuses to these. They've got the same movement speed as every other archer, same attack, same range. Everything is identical. Like the Yumi Ashigaru is the good one. It's the unique one. And we can see he's got the bonuses there. Extra melee, extra range, as well as the extra attack speed. Excuse me, no extra range. But with the Yumi Ashigaru, obviously, we've got the extra speed. That's the big thing about them. So I feel like for Jiff, he should probably be looking for a little bit more raids. I mean, it's hard though, right? Because any units that you throw away from this main attack, it's going to make it even harder. Now MarineLorD going to try and look to focus down the back. More units going to continue rallying in here for Jiff. No age up in sight for either of these players. One of the things I'd also love to see for Jiff is just an addition to more of the Daimyo estates. If he can get to level 2 or even potentially to level 3, there is real value in doing that. And it's not so much that we're in the feudal age that it really matters. It's primarily just on that, based on that bonus. The extra 10% health can really add up. And a little bit of a raid back here with an elephant inside the main town center or main base. Going to be chased away by the Yari cavalry. Keep in mind, the Yari cavalry gets bonus damage against other cavalry. This also gets boosted up if you're able to get yourself an alliance with, I don't know if alliance is the right term, but with the cavalry daimyo estate. So it's definitely something that's a bit lacking at the moment. I'll say, look, these civilizations are still new. Players are still learning exactly how to play them. So don't get mad that you don't see, you know, tier 3 Sengoku daimyo at 28 minutes. Where is it? Come on, let me see it. I'm a little bit mad. I need to take my own advice. He's got a whole bunch of stone in the bank, 740. There it is. It's coming through. He's going for the cavalry one. It's going to get cancelled out, though. Vils get sniped away. It's 15-15 the split. Both of these guys have been with 100% village or town center uptime. Actually, it looks like we might have a little bit down on the side of MarineLorD here. Maybe, yeah, down for about 10 seconds of idle time. That's 8 seconds. We can actually see it right there. Not too bad, MarineLorD. 8 seconds over 28 minutes. Will allow Jiff Music, on the other hand, 100% uptime. Mad respect to the man. So you'll see, yeah. Oh, actually, is it more? It might be like 28 seconds for MarineLorD and then only like 18 seconds for Jiff Music. Anyway, it's a small little detail. It'd be great if we had something on the UI to tell us that. Hint, hint, cow. Hint, hint. No, cow's already got it sorted. Well, As the game continues, I really don't have a question as to where it goes, but I think MarineLorD may be looking for an age up here. I don't know if this is the right time for it. Actually, you know what? I feel like with the Tughlag Dynasty, as long as you've got a standing army that's kind of comparable to the opponent, any time is the right time, because you can get age ups immediately. One of the biggest threats that you've got in any game, okay, especially with an extended feudal age game like this, is the if you age up, your enemy will push. That's essentially it. And the reason why is this, okay? The longer the feudal age goes, the more your economy builds up. And the more the economy builds up, right now, we've got a lot of villages that are just spamming out units. We've got heaps of production that's just spamming out units. So if you take a brief second to have a breather and go, I'm going to go castle age, you've now got to wait for all your upgrades to come through. And if you wait for your upgrades to come through, the enemy forces a fight. You've now fought against an opponent when you're down like 3,000 resources. You're waiting for your upgrades, so you take an unfavorable fight. It's not a good thing. And we kind of see that happening here at the moment. MarineLorD probably wants to avoid this fight rather than take it. A couple units going to make their way through as well. House of Learning has got a little bit of gold in the back. Let's see if he clicks some upgrades. We want to see veterancy immediately. There it is. 5 seconds on veterancy. Coming through right now. MarineLorD immediately hits the button. +2 range attack coming in. This is the Tughlag Dynasty right here. The power of the Tughlag Dynasty. Who needs Tughlagabad forts when I've got instant upgrades? This civilization no longer defined by its elephants, no longer defined by the Tughlagabad fort, now defined by immediate, instantaneous, god-tier upgrades. Speaking of which, House of Learning. Unique upgrades. Very cool. But the main focus here is just the fact that we literally get archers with +2 ranged armor, +2 ranged attack. I didn't even see the ranged armor come through, dude. That's how quick it was. It was just instant. And the veterancy. I love the fact that, you know, like we kind of pointed this out earlier, and it's one of those obvious things, but it took a while for us to get here. We're 31 minutes into this game. And now you can see on the other side, Jiff Music is scrambling, and he's thinking to himself, what do I do now? How do I play? I don't have, normally you see the opponent age up, and then you can immediately say to yourself, okay, now I'm going to age up, and I will follow them up, and I'll get my upgrades, and I will just wait for the fight. You can't do that here. There's no window. It's literally impossible. How do you fight into this? It's just, the whole game has just been even Stevens up until this point where MarineLorD was like, hey, I'm just going to go Castle Age instantly and get all my upgrades, and then I'm going to fight you. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Nice little combo here. Once again, it looks like that grenade is missed as it tries to come through. Yari Cavalry is going to find a connection. MarineLorD with a lot of units. He's just 100% into archers, but take that back. There's lancers on the way. Able to try and take, or able to just basically one-shot these Yari Cavalry at this point. Even the Daimyo going to be going down here, and that's just simply because of the power of these archers. Keep in mind that +2 ranged armor might not seem like a lot, but it really starts to stack up when you're talking 44 arrows getting thrown out every second or so. And now, more and more cavalry come through, get taken down immediately. Meanwhile, back towards the base, a huge amount of farms towards this position for MarineLorD. Still losing out on the archers towards the 4. We've got to keep an eye out on those lancers. We see a whole bunch in queue. He's only got 3 in queue, actually. He did have 6 in queue, but I guess he's only got 1 or 2 stable, so he probably just took a couple out. 2 lancers now, and Jiff Music really looking to push the pedal to the metal here. I think he needs to try and find a window to age up, but it doesn't look like he's going to go for it. He's just going to commit to hard age 2 here, which is a very bold move, because the longer this goes, the worse the trades get. And MarineLorD, he's pumping the same amount of economy into units that you are. The only difference is his units are better than yours. Not to mention the fact the lancers are out now. Jiff Music going to try his best to regroup, but it's going to look worse and worse for him. I tell you what, this might actually be the best thing about this civilization. That's just, it's not on the title card. You know, that's where I was going back to originally. You know, elephants and Tughlagabad fort. It's like, Tughlagabad fort who? Where? Who needs a Tughlagabad fort? They have to make a change now to the Tughlagabad fort. You know, I will just say this. This is MarineLorD playing this civilization, and we do not see a single point. Like, at no point has he said, I need a Tughlagabad fort. At no point has he said, yeah, this is the way to play the civilization. He has identified from the very beginning, the way I'm going to play this civ is simple. I'm just going to focus the same way I would any other civilization, and I'm just going to play for that castle timing. Sure, the castle timing took a little bit longer than usual, but you see the vision, I see the vision, and I think that's really where the power comes through. So now the question is going to be about whether Jiff is going to be able to get up there, or at least find the window to get himself up there as well. More units continue to come out for MarineLorD, and you can feel right now that he is just doing everything he can to hold here. We haven't seen any further upgrades come through. No extra Tughlag Fort, or no Tughlag Forts full stop. No extra town centers. He has not taken a risk. Every single thing right now is just on units, 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 units. Because he knows if he's able to hold this, if he's able to keep the pressure up, his opponent is going to crumble. And that's exactly what's happening now as Jiff attempts to turn the table. We see a couple of spears coming out here. How are we looking for upgrades? Still no +1 range or +1 melee armor for either of these players. Meanwhile, we do see connections with the slowing grenades. More and more of them continue being thrown off towards the back. Keep in mind, we also get a nice little bonus extra damage to these units. And now Jiff turning the table. MarineLorD once again on his toes. It's been just so back and forth this game. Jiff Music, I tell you what, Jiff, if you were playing under a different name, if you were playing under the name Puppy Paw, I would genuinely believe it. I would genuinely... No, that doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's all right. We tried something, it didn't work, and that's okay. This is incredible to see him go toe-to-toe with such an absolute legend, and the fact that we get to see MarineLorD play a civilization, a brand new civilization, in such a raw form so early on in this patch. Because remember, at this stage, the meta is not defined. No one knows how it's going to end up in 2 weeks, in 4 weeks, in 2 months, in 4 months. Things drastically change over the course as people work out new things, but it feels like MarineLorD is starting to struggle as these archers finally make it through. For the second time this game, we're going to see them make their way through. Now, these Vils are absolutely getting on out. 1.29 movement speed, trying as hard as they can. We've got the Yumi Ashigaru towards the back and a couple of elephants out here as well, but he's going to stop. He's going to make a mosque. He says, that'll be fine. I'll just make a mosque. You can't see them if you can't see a villager if it's making a mosque. That's just a fact. Unfortunately, you can. Quite a bit of health on these units as well. Keep in mind, he's got the +2 ranged armor as well, considering his castle age. And in the end, Orangutan able to clear this up. Have a look at the military numbers now. Is Jiff going castle? He could be going castle. No, he's not. He's just having a bit of a tough time towards the front. Yari Horseman towards the south. MarineLorD looking a little bit better. I love the fact that despite what we've got going on behind the scenes and the Lancers clearing it up, that MarineLorD's still putting the pressure on at the front. Like, it is such a terrible feeling. And Jiff Music realizes it right there and says, you know what? It's a bad feeling. I'm going to let it end. GG. Go next. Ladies and gentlemen, what an incredible game from MarineLorD. No Tughlag Fort, no need. Anyway, make sure you go check them out. I'll leave a link in the description of where you can watch them live. And speaking of live, don't forget to check out Outback Octagon 4 returning this November.